Let's look at Edo 2024 governorship election, clamoring for issue-based campaign, and who takes over from Governor Godwin Obaseki. We have with us in the studio from my extreme left, Wisdom Elder, a global affairs analyst. Thank you so much for coming, Wisdom Elder.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, viewers.
And sitting very close to him is a member of the PDP campaign council. He's in person of Sosa, and he's the chief press secretary to the local government chairman of Ikpoba local government.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Thank you, Edo people. Good morning.
And of course, we have a grassroots politician, engineer, Sosa Omorogbe. He's a grassroots politician, a member of the APC. A pleasure to have you join us.
Thank you very much for having me, and good morning, viewers everywhere.
And by the way, Wisdom Elder is of the obedient movement, but we don't know if you have actually moved. We have so many obedient movements in every of the political party. We have obedient movement in APC, in PDP, in all the parties. This is confusing.
We have them more in PDP.
You have them in PDP too.
More in PDP.
You have more in PDP. So let's start with you, Wisdom Elder. There seems to be a widespread of the obedient movement. It has never happened like this before. How did we get here? Are they selling out?
Actually, the obedient movement started with the campaign of Mr. Peter Obi for the presidential ambition 2023. I think everybody rallied around because they believed his vision and his concept. And as a matter of fact, for presidency, a lot of people from different political divides came together, especially those who are not, who are in some states, not some active states of some of the ruling parties. They came together and started mobilizing. And when Peter Obi entered Labour Party, a lot of them started shifting grounds to Labour Party. And during the election, you can see how it was glaringly a party that was very, very much young in the race, was able to muster that capacity and courage to, clinch to that rigged results that we have been seeing, because I don't believe that actually is the real reflection of what actually transpired.
But we have a winner of the election.
Definitely you must have a winner, but I think the best rigor or something from my own
No, let's get this
understanding.
The aggrieved political parties went to court, and court gave it.
Definitely the aggrieved political parties went to court, and then they did not also have the capacity to get things done the way it is done here in Nigeria.
Okay.
And then it went the way of the APC. So the obedient movements have always been there, and other parties are also cashing into that movement to see what they can get as far as election is concerned, especially in Edo State, because we have a lot of them here in Edo State.
All right, we'll get back to you in a moment, because I know with you have a lot of things to say. Let's get to Sosa Ewere. Sosa Ewere, what constitutes an issue-based campaign?
Thank you so much, my brother. Basically, when you say issue-based campaigns, you're talking of what the campaigners or the people on the front have for electorates.
That's true.
The people of the states. As it concerns security, as it concerns infrastructure, health, education, human capacity development, and improving the economic potentialities of a particular environment, in this case, Edo State. So, and if you check our party, the PDP, you can say clearly and unequivocally that the PDP and its candidates, Aswe Udalo Saudionge, and members of the PDP have been able to put up a constructive issue-based campaigns that has to do with sustaining existential developments in Edo. There are legacies in Edo now. There are footprints in Edo under the Obaseki-led administration that ought or deserves a very high level of sustainability. And the PDP has been able to sit back down, unlike back in the day when a particular person appoints or chooses for the party. All members of the party came together at this time to nominate their candidates. It was first Asue Udalo, who had an all-encompassing, all-embracing welcome by the vast majority of Edo people at home and abroad.
Okay.
And then Osadionge followed. So if you check the campaigns from then up until now, it has been issues of security, issues of health, issues of improving economy, and most importantly, issues of sustaining what we have on the ground in terms of civil and public service reforms. Edo State today, Edo workers today are by far the highest earners amongst Nigerian workers in Nigeria.
Okay.
There are education reforms that the Obaseki-led administration has put up, and the need to sustain these reforms and build on them cannot be overemphasized. And we do strongly believe that the Asue Udalo and Osadionge combo are best to sustain this and expand
you actually
the
said
for
in the
development.
build up to the primary election, it was free and fair, and everybody came together
to
nominate the person of Asue Udalo. But we have 9 of the aspirants who felt they were not carried along, and there seems to be a problem. Even the reinstated deputy governor, Comrade Right Honorable Philip Shuaibu, he was part of those who said this process wasn't free and fair, and he went ahead to have his own primaries in his compound. We will get back.
Okay,
you will react to that.
We have to get back.
You hold that on one hand so that you will just breathe on it. Help us now, Esosa, Engineer Esosa. What should the next governor of Edo State look at? What are the critical infrastructure or what are the critical problems that the next governor of Edo State should start focusing on?
Thank you very much once again for having me. I want to say that Edo State today is in a state of retrogressive development occasioned by the Obaseki administration. As a matter of fact, we have never had it so bad in Edo State. And I believe that Obaseki will go down in history within this dispensation as the worst governor that ever ruled. That said, that means that the next governor has an Herculean task to bring us back to the state of development. Our infrastructures are decaying, our revenue have been misused and mismanaged by the present administration. The economy is so bad that our young ones, the youth, and even Edo people generally, they prefer to dry and die while trying to cross over to better climes than stay in Edo State. That is the environment that the Obaseki administration have created. Not only that, our people prefer to drown in the Mediterranean Sea than remain in Edo State. That is the kind of environment that Obaseki has created.
But before now, we've had people who leave the country. This government has tried to see how to bring people back. So are you now saying they have not done anything at all?
I'm not saying that they've not done anything at all.
Okay.
But I'm saying that as far as what concerns Edo people, the Obaseki-led administration has failed woefully. And there are indices to that.
Okay, you'll be walking us through these indices. Just hold on. Let's get to Wisdom Elder. Wisdom Elder, in the build-up to the presidential election, we saw how the Labour Party had a good outing that produced a senator and some Federal House of Rep members. Somebody is representing the Labour Party at the State House of Assembly. Can they capitalize on that, looking at the current breakup and shake-up in Labour Party?
Okay, I would say just directly that the preparedness of Labour Party to take over from the ruling party in Edo State is not resolute. I don't think, for me, I would not say Labour Party has been able to do the kind of job that is required. I say that as a politician, I say that as an active person in the polity, and I'm a very realistic person. Yes, there are so many things that a party that wants to take over from the ruling party in Edo State with the current INEC syndrome needs to put in place a whole lot. And then that actually will not only go down well with just making good campaigns and then sensitization. Because we did that, as far as Peter Obi is concerned, he did that. We did a lot of campaign. We mobilized people. We made sure a lot of people go back to get their PVCs and all the rest of them. And at the end of the day, we started seeing a whole lot of jamborees, a whole lot of abracadabras during the election. And all those things we recorded, we had evidence, and when we got to court, everything was thrown out as not having the exact force to maybe nullify or rerun an election. So if this Labour Party is going to continue on that trail with what has happened before, I will assure you that they will still get back to getting the same result, because I think Thomas Edison said insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. If they are going to follow that same trail with the same INEC, with the same electoral act, with the same people who conducted that election that we saw openly. We knew elections did not hold in certain areas, but results were mentioned. We knew that some people were killed and results was not cancelled. We knew that transmission was not done in real time, and then INEC upheld it, and another party was joining INEC at the Supreme Court to even uphold a fraudulent result. So if this kind of INEC situation is going to repeat itself, I don't think Labour Party. Why I'm saying that is because, first of all, you have to have enough foot soldiers on ground to wage the ballot box snatchers, the people who are going to vandalize all INEC materials in order to scuttle the result that will be coming from the polling unit. You have to have enough foot soldiers. I'm not talking of voters. I'm not talking of people who are casting their votes or holding their PVCs. I'm talking of a party mobilizing the right people who are also voters to make sure they are going to hold these people hosted. They will not allow them to snatch these ballot boxes, and they will make sure that results are counted from there. If such thing is not done, there's no way, there's nothing that
so
can come out.
So is the Labour Party going to have what other political parties have been having?
Sorry, I'm not here to represent Labour Party. I thank God you are asking them about Edo State. But I'm giving you a realistic view that if we should go by what has been going on, I've been in politics, and I know how it goes.
Okay, we will.
So if we
will talk to you as an analyst on the show. We have somebody who will be joining us virtually. But we want to speak for the Labour Party. Let's come to you now.
I thought I already told you a vast majority of the obedient people who are with you.
Well, you actually say that, but probably in the coming days will be still. Yes,
but I want to differ a bit from what he said. I would have thought that my brother would talk about performance. Last year, we elected, some persons of the Labour Party extraction were elected into, so we had the Edo South Senator is of the Labour Party extraction. The House of Reps member for Edo Labour is of the Labour Party extraction, or Edo Labour Party. So you have a level of major Labour Party people who are now occupying political positions, very sensitive and high political positions. What have they done in the last 1 year?
At the federal
Excuse
level.
me, please. What have they done as a senator at Edo South? Yeah. As a senator at Edo South, the Benin speaking area in Edo State, what have you done as a senator? The House of Reps member from Labour Party, Ekpobaha, where I come from, Ekpobaha particularly, what has it done? So you must have that level of performance. Why politically Why politically you may also have your persons on the field.
Yeah, but
you must also consider performance.
Hold on, Esosa.
Yeah.
Let's not be too hard on Wisdom.
No, I'm not.
He just said
I'm just
he's not
saying.
speaking. He just said he's not speaking on behalf of the Labour Party.
Yeah.
I will have Honorable Stephen Osenwege join us.
No problem.
Who may have
No
the
problem.
guts to
No
speak
problem.
on behalf of
No
Labour
problem.
Party. So land
No
on your
problem.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Land on your thoughts. Go ahead.
So I think we should also consider, when we are considering planting strong men in that regard on the front line, we should also consider performance of the people that we have elected, because the movement last year was massive. It was a tsunami. So a lot of people did not even know who they were voting for at that time.
You think so?
They just followed. Of course, you were here. So they just followed the flood. So it was a flood. And at the end of the day, you have people occupying sensitive political positions but unable to do nothing. So that is also going to be a negative impact on the local. But the fact that a vast majority of them are with the PDP, I think there is headway.
No, you cannot just automatically say
there's headway.
Wisdom Maker, hold on. Let's get to Engineer Esosa. Engineer Esosa, now help us infrastructural-wise, looking at what this government has done. Do you think among the frontliners, we should be banking on any of the candidates to take it up from where Governor Obaseki has stopped?
In terms of infrastructure, Governor Obaseki, like every other sector, has failed monumentally.
It seems you don't even believe in this government.
I have the floor.
No pass mark. Okay, go ahead. You do have the floor.
Under this government, it's been a litany of lies. It's been a litany of failed promises. Avalanche of them, for that matter. It's been chaotic. For example, let's go to the promises that were made. When this government was coming in, Obaseki promised us that he was going to give us Gele seaports. Do we have Gele seaports today? Absolutely no. Not only that, this government promised that they were going to build an airport in Edo North. Do we have airports today? No, we don't have airports. And I can go on and on and on. But what this government is celebrating today is cosmetic achievement. You know, the renovation of a building that was built years before we were born. As an SUG official, I'll be ashamed to celebrate the painting of a building as a signature project or achievement. Just yesterday, a few days ago, on Facebook, I was watching one of the commissioners, a young man like ourselves, you know, in this Governor Obaseki administration. He was going through some road said to have been done by Governor Godwin Obaseki, and he passed through Adolo College Road. Adolo College is my alma mater, you know, so I'm sentimentally attached to that area. And then he got to a place, and he himself said that this portion has failed. That is a road that was built. I think that road should be less than 1 year. That road was built. That road is already failing. In short, Obaseki is actually hurriedly sending machines to the ground just to create a semblance of a government that have been working. Whereas we have all of 7 years plus.
Okay, let's see. We'll get back to you. Let's see if Honorable Stephen Osewenge, who is joining us from United States, is ready. I don't know if he's on board now so that we can have him join the conversation. Good morning, Honorable Stephen Osewenge.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I have just been chuckling, listening to my panelists bashing Labour Party as though it is the problem of Edo State, while we know that PDP, which my brother just highlighted, has failed woefully. Let's leave it until you ask me a question, but thank you for adding me to this important conversation.
Okay, thank you. Honorable Stephen Osewenge is a human rights activist and, of course, a philanthropist based in the United States. You are of the Labour Party. extraction? What is the fate of Labour Party as far as this election is concerned? Like I said in the opening, they had a good outing during the presidential election, according to Esosa Ewere. He said it was a wave that brought in some persons that were not prepared for office. Is that true?
That could not be further away from the truth. I think the reality on the ground is that not just Edo State, Nigeria is tired of these two parties called PDP and APC, not because of their nomenclature, but because of their track record of catastrophic failure. I don't want to go to the national situation that is going on, where everybody is apprehensive with the end bad governance. But if we bring it down to Edo State, you can relate to how bad governance has led to what we now call the River Obaseki that appears everywhere when rain falls. On the Labour Party front, Nigerians collectively chose a better candidate in 2023. My candidate was Peter Obi in that election. We want Nigerians and advocated for someone that has his wits about him with a track record. We wanted someone that is different from the rest, not say a career politician, someone that has proven himself outside politics. So we offered Peter Obi, and I know people bought him. And he led to a wave indeed, he's right. Many of the candidates down ballot were following Peter Obi's footsteps. They were saying to people, what Obi said, we will help him achieve. We are just going to do the same. Nigerians rejected the person at the top, Peter Obi, according to what INEC declared, even though I do disagree with INEC on that election. But we accepted. And today, 1 year on, Nigeria is shut down because of what we want, bad governance nationally. In Edo State, it's the same. Olumide Akpata is my candidate for the Labour Party. He has achieved so much outside politics. This is the first time he's coming out of partisan politics. He has gone around Edo State now, going twice, every single local government, talking to people, meeting people, and telling them, you have tried PDP, they have failed. You have tried APC, they have failed. Is it not time to give Labour Party a chance? If you go to Abia State, where we have the only governor that could not rig our election, Alex Oti, is the only one the people are not crying. So I'm here to tell you that Edo State is going to vote Labour Party overwhelmingly, not necessarily because they like Labour Party itself, even though they do, but because they are tired of PDP and APC. Why won't you be tired? What is the track record? Now, we just recently learned that over 500 and something billion was shared to governors a few weeks ago, while Nigerians are pointing to...
Okay, Honorable Stephen, let's pause you a little. You're not here to campaign for anybody. This is one of the issues we're talking about. Hold on. We're talking about issue-based campaign. That is the focus of the discussion. I don't think if it will be wise to start pitching tents with any politician at this point. We've seen politicians or political office holders get to office, and what they bring to the table is far below the expectation of the people. But we'll get back to you in a moment, Honorable Sawenge. Let's get to you now. Security is a major problem in Edo State. And we saw a show of what some people call shame, where a political party members were coming in from the airport and there were allegations that they were attacked and all that. The election has not started, and we lost a gallant mobile police officer. Should you expect this to happen, or can it be addressed before the election?
Oh, well, like sometimes, we used to get invitations to speak, and we claim that we are tired of talking, because we realized that the more we talk, the more people act with impunity over a lot of things that we have complained about. The matter of security is supposed to be the paramount priority of every leader or every administrator, from the presidency down, because every state has allocation for security. Even the presidency, we have security agencies, we have everything. So every department have been well settled in terms of security, and every state has been also given the freedom to even mobilize their own independent security outfits. So as a matter of fact, most states, in Southwest are doing well because they have keyed into that.
Please, let's make our submission very brief.
Yes.
We have few minutes to leave the studio.
Okay. So on the area of Edo State and their security, I would say the challenge is still coming as a result of I think, inability of the man
Okay.
in charge to actually draft or design a security structure that can handle every security challenge.
Okay, so
in the
sorry,
state.
we're
My
talking
brother, my
about
brother.
security structure now.
Yeah.
The governor of the state or the PDP, they've just asked the Nigeria Police Force to stop going after their party members, that they should go after APC talks. That was on the Nigerian Observer newspaper today.
They have to.
And there was a time where the chief executive officer of the state said, if this act continues, Nigeria will burn. Is that statement expected from a political office holder?
Of course, considering the times, you can't burn down our states in celebration of a purported return to government house. We are a civilized society. This is not a banana republic. Even if you have a court judgment that appears to favor you, there are mechanisms, there are legal mechanisms to which you secure that judgment, and then it is enforced. You don't enforce your own judgments. You are just an individual, you're a civilian. So you must allow the organs, the enforcement organs that are empowered, constitutionally empowered to enforce such judgment. You must allow them instead of causing chaos in the society, in our states. So we are a civilized economy, we are a civilized state, we have a civilized governor, we have a governor who understands what it is to be a governor.
Okay,
so my brother, we must, the statement was timely,
Okay.
the statement was appropriate, and if that happens again, exactly what the governor said is what will happen.
Okay, you heard what he said, your namesake. Do you stand with him on this?
Not at all.
You don't expect him to stand with me.
Go ahead, engineer.
Why would he stand with
Thank
me?
you very much.
Please make it brief.
Yeah, Governor Godwin Obaseki and his cohort or party, they've been the purveyor of violence. Under Governor Obaseki, Edo State became a killing field. There have been gang clashes and all have you, and what have you, rather. And
when you say killing field,
Yeah, I thought you said this was issue-based campaign. But my brother seemed to just be...
No. I thought we were talking about security.
Go ahead.
Security. If young men are dying every other
Because your party has not been able to produce a manifesto for Edo 2024.
Let him land. Go ahead, engineer Sosa. Go ahead, engineer
Okay, so I just said Edo State became a killing field under Governor Obaseki. You can go and fact check me on that.
Okay.
Virtually every other month, the young people were turning their guns on themselves. Not only that, the governor himself threatened to burn down Nigeria if some certain things happen. That is, what was he talking about? What happened? There were some certain Comrade Philip Shaibu was reinstated, and he came to Edo State, and some persons came to welcome him, and then there some persons attacked them,
And then you started shooting.
All right. Okay. Let's wrap up now. Let's
started
wrap up
shooting.
now.
All right.
We would like to have enough time with you guys. But let's get to Honorable Stephen Osewenge. Honorable Stephen Osewenge, there seems to be a kind of disconnection between the national party leader of the Labour Party, talking about Barrister Julius Abure. There seems to be a disconnection between him and the candidate of the Labour Party. What is the problem? Is there a way out? Quickly.
Thank you. Because of time, I will quickly just say that my first submission was talking about the fact that Edo people are tired of both the PDP and the APC. You can see the security situation at the airport road, how APC and PDP embarrass themselves before Edo people, which is why Edo people cannot wait to vote Olumide Akpata, the Labour Party candidate, come September 21st. On your question, there is no distance between the national, which is operating in Abuja across the whole country, and the state Labour Party. The state Labour Party is doing very well. The campaign is rigorous. It is all encompassing. I don't know if you noticed our very gigantic, very elaborate new office at the King Square that shows what Labour Party now is from our former location. Since Olumide Akpata joined the party has gotten a new lift. So there's a good synergy going on. It's not everything that will be here, but the communication is there. The party is united and they offer a good governance, just like Alex Soti is offering in others.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Stephen Osewenge. I'm afraid this is how far we can go. Gentlemen, we have news for 9:10. Wisdom Elder, I know this is not your kind of discussion. You're just trying to be calm. You're not calm like that. So we appreciate you for coming.
No.
And of
Thank you
course,
so much.
Engineer Sosa Omerege, we appreciate, and of course, Stephen Osawenge.